Today's challenge is simple. If Spotify had existed for the last 3,600 years, what would have actually survived until today? I'm going to create my interpretation of what a Spotify artifact from 14,000 BC would look like today. The challenge is keeping Spotify's identity while removing everything modern. No phones, no headphones, no internet, and no technology that simply wouldn't have existed thousands of years ago. So the first thing we'd need is a temple. To an ancient civilization, something capable of playing music would have looked like magic, so they'd almost certainly build an entire temple around it to protect it. Spotify also isn't a luxury brand, so instead of polished marble, I think rough weathered stone fits much better. The walls themselves are intentionally simple, just beveled stone blocks with randomized transforms to give the impression that they've been standing here for thousands of years. To sell the scale a little more, we can add ancient pillars throughout the temple. Of course, every temple needs a roof, so we'll build one with a large opening in the center. That opening will eventually become our main light source. Next comes the floor. Instead of a perfectly clean surface, we wanted multiple layers of history. Some original carved floors still visible, while broken sections reveal older moss-covered stone underneath. Since rain has been entering through the hole in the roof for centuries, it makes sense that water would slowly collect inside the temple. Besides making the environment feel believable, these reflections will also make the final render much more cinematic. Now every important relic deserves a pedestal, so the temple needs one worthy of the artifact we're about to place on it. The artifact itself can't just be the Spotify logo. It needs to feel ancient, valuable, and almost magical. Since Spotify's identity has always been green, I decided to reinterpret the logo as a glowing emerald crystal with subtle animated light moving through it, making it feel like something civilizations would worship. Adding a few surrounding crystals helped the artifact feel naturally embedded into the pedestal instead of simply sitting on top of it. Now, if an ancient civilization discovered something capable of producing endless music, they'd almost certainly build mythology around it. The obvious choice here feels like sirens. They're already associated with irresistible songs, so they fit surprisingly well into Spotify's identity while reinforcing the mythology surrounding the artifact. But every sacred relic also needs guardians, so I placed protector statues near the relic, choosing designs with snakes to reinforce the idea that this place was never meant to be disturbed. At this point, we've recreated the temple as it may have existed thousands of years ago. Now time has to do its work, since nature slowly starts reclaiming everything that's man-made. Large shrubs break up the empty areas first, while grass spreads across the floors. Ivy climbs over the walls, helping hide repetition while making the entire structure feel abandoned. Ferns naturally appear in the dampest corners, adding even more life to the environment. A few small yellow flowers introduce just enough color to balance all the greens without pulling attention away from the main artifact. Dead roots wrap around the pillars, showing that centuries of growth have come and gone. Procedural ivy spreads across the statue, pedestals, and surrounding stonework, making the entire temple feel consumed by nature. Finally, hanging vines help fill the empty ceiling and make the whole environment feel more enclosed. At this point, the scene is almost complete. The only thing ancient environments often lack is movement. Everything feels frozen, so I added glowing butterflies. Besides introducing motion, they naturally guide your eye back towards the emerald artifact while reinforcing the magical atmosphere. The final step is creating the mood. Volumetrics allow sunlight entering through the roof to become visible, creating dramatic god rays that immediately pull attention towards the center of the temple. Finally, adding gobos breaks up those light beams so they feel much more natural instead of perfectly uniform. And with that, the temple is complete. This is exactly how I imagine Spotify would look if it had been created 3,600 years ago and somehow survived until today. If this video gave you ideas for your own project, I'd love to hear what brand I should create next. Maybe another ancient artifact, maybe something futuristic, or maybe something completely ridiculous. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. And until the next one, thank you so much for watching, keep creating, and don't forget to stay creative.